Yo, 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 welcome back to Crazy Bowl TV. Welcome to LFC Vibes in the barbershop settings. Guys, thank you. Please come on in, share, subscribe, like, get us to 200 as we've been promoting. We appreciate you all being here. Please be part of the show by asking questions, talk to us through the chat. And if you watch this later, just have a comment, leave us a question, we will answer back. Yeah, let's make this show live. It's not just gonna be me talking. So if you're on there, you got a question, please put it up, and I will answer it, and we could discuss it. But thank you so much again. Share, subscribe, like. We are back in the barber shop, so if you need a trim, if you need your braids to be cleaned up a little bit, welcome in. We got you. What's going on, Alexander? I appreciate you coming in. What are you looking for? A trim or just some braids? Or you just asked to polish it, put a little bit color in your hair. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you. So today, what are we gonna talk about? We could talk about anything. This LFC vibe, so it's everything and anything that has to do with Liverpool. So we're just gonna going on. Probably won't make sense, but we will just talk about it. One thing I want to talk about real quick is the game we had on Sunday. I know we already have a show about it. Check it out, guys. Check out the channel. I just love where Liverpool is headed. One thing that I brought up, and I believe it was Baz who was not too happy about that. I was like, we need to give some shout out to the owners, because they recognized that things were not going well, and they came to England to fix what the problem is. So, it's like, yeah, you don't want to give them a cookie, but they could have just, let it be how it is. And you've seen some of the clubs around us, how they're dealing with their problem. So we have to give it a shout out for them fixing it, or at least getting it back on track. What's good, man? How you doing, Ozan? We appreciate you here. Come sit down. You need a haircut. You need your hair colored. You want to take care of that gray a little bit, or you just need it polished. We got you, man. Even if it's just some shampooing, we'll take care of you. Just come to the barbershop. Let's talk. This is all barbershop talk. So it probably won't make sense to some people, but it makes sense to us. But back to what I was saying. Liverpool owners, at least they have corrected certain things, right? Yes, Klopp doing his job on the field is making no hair color needed. Okay, my apologies. I know the hair is strictly black. I got you. Or whatever color it is. These days, gray is in. It makes you look a little bit wise, apparently. So, gray is in, or whatever color it is. Yeah, so FSG coming back in, and this is the thing that the fans who say, oh, they should, no, they listen to some of you guys' concerns. Some of us who came out and said, hey, there is a problem here. This is not the LFC that was 3, 4, 5 years ago. We didn't just go around shouting, screaming FSG out, all these nonsense that made no sense. We actually brought a constructive criticism and said, things are not the same. The manager also recognized that, and he even had a whole interview about it. And he said, trust us, we're going to fix things. And yes, it's not just the winning that's painting over the cracks, because a lot of time there were a couple wins were painting over the cracks. But this one, you could tell the manager is calm. The manager has figured things out on the pitch and off the pitch. Julian Brandt, Julian Ward is back. And some people say he's not fully back, but he is just in a consulting role. So, which is good. Klopp needs all the help he can get. Having him be in charge of everything was not was not feasible. It was not making no sense. What's good, Trap? Welcome back, my brother from the Yay area. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you need to, I told you, hair color, trim, braids, we got you. Come to the barbershop, man. And of course, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Colonel Juberi, the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, we don't. The man say, I don't need your help. I don't need
No,
your help. I got the
no,
hair. I don't need your help. I got you,
no,
Zuberi.
I was still in hair and makeup, man. But
My brother was like, salute, salute. The man said, I don't need your help. Don't tell me about haircut right now. I'm taking care of this myself.
oh, is this
Thank you
another
so much.
barbershop thing? What's
You
going
know
on,
what I
man?
mean?
Everybody in the chat.
Everybody in the
Oh
chat,
man.
we try to tell people this is a barbershop talk. So, we got to take care of the
Ah,
people, you know what I mean? Oh, man. Brazy, I got you, man. I got you. Trust me, I got you. I got some Niger people who take care of those. Not even Niger, Senegalese. I think Senegalese women do the best braids.
I thought you was from Ghana, bro.
I'm Ghana, but from what I'm,
He ain't big enough the people them in Ghana, man.
no. Ghanaians are good. Ghanaians are very, very good in when it comes to braiding hair. But I'm saying from what I heard in total, even Ghanaians will tell you that Senegalese women are usually up there. If it's
Nah, I
top
had a
three.
Senegalese chick that dead me still on the crutches, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Nah, she played me quasi, but I held it down like a real G because I've been
Nah.
pressing it, get it, you know what I'm saying? Rocking it
Yes,
with it for a
sir.
month. And I'm like, yo, it's been a month. I usually don't wait because you're from the motherland. I'll give you 30 days. What's up with the
Yeah.
front? She was
What
like,
happened?
nothing, man. Waiting for marriage. You know, in high school, you're like, I'm gonna have to go get a ring. I don't even got a job. I'm like, yo, this can't work. So I ended up just breaking it off because I didn't want to break a heart and that still. But
Yeah.
big up to Senegalese and them.
I respect in the money people, man. I respect. And you hear about all these Jollof wars and Ghana versus Nigeria. It actually come from them. They have a tribe called the Yolof tribe. And they are the one who started this jollof rice. So a lot of times, but still Ghana makes the best jollof rice. I just want to put it out there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't eat jollof, bro. Rice and
What?
peas, fam. Yeah, nah, bro. I keep it rice and peas, bro. Coconut milk and that, bro. Yeah, don't need all that. Nah.
You know, Ghana, in northern Ghana, the northerners, they make some serious rice and peas. Serious ones.
How
The only
serious we
difference is
talking? Because it sounds like you're gonna tell me they don't use coconut milk, bro.
that's what I was
How
gonna
serious?
say. They don't put coconut in theirs. They use
That's
a
not
different
serious
leaf.
rice. Nah, that's not
They use a
serious rice,
leaf.
man.
They use a leaf that gives it flavor. I'm telling you, man, it's major.
Mm-mm.
It's
Mm-mm.
major.
That don't sound right, bro. But
No, one of these days when I come to the East Coast, we're gonna hit some spots. I'm like, let me tell you, let me show you some of the, there's a lot of Ghanaian restaurants around, in your area, especially in New
nah, bro.
York.
You violate me in this barbershop, bro. I'm telling you right now. You go see any Jamaican, bro, and you talk about a restaurant, bro.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, the food you eat at the Jamaican spot that the
yeah.
Jamaican cooks,
Hmm.
or Caribbean, I'm gonna just be doing what you're doing with the other countries. You
Yeah.
go to a Caribbean person house and they throw it down,
Hmm.
you're not going out to eat. I'm telling you right now, you're not going out to eat because two things gonna happen. They're
Hmm.
cooking way too much food, so you ain't got room
True.
for nothing else. And they're
True.
cooking some fire food. You're like, this is better than anything I can get off the road. So you're gonna be conflicted. Just saying, unless
No,
you're one
I
of them
mean,
long belly man from the motherland that can just eat a pot full of food.
no,
you,
but
you ain't gonna make it still.
but this is the thing though. Jamaican food, Africans also do the same thing. Except that Jamaican food are specific. The oxtail is specifically, and this is the thing about African food and Jamaican food. Everything you cook has to be to the letter. You can't just say I'm just gonna mix it and it looks like a Jamaican food, or like even jollof, right? Jollof, you have everything that the ingredients, everything has to be used. Every single
Yeah, I don't
thing.
know. I know my girl ain't watching this, so I'll just spill the beans. Yo, so I've been with her about 8 years, right? And I teach
Mhm.
how to cook so many, some stuff and something like that.
Yeah.
Bro, I got one rule. If you have to throw something together,
Hmm.
I don't want it, bro. Because in my mind, you only throw scraps to dogs.
Scrap together, exactly.
Yeah, don't throw nothing up. No, oh, let me throw this together real quick. I don't eat that, bro. You're missing an ingredient. Did you not hear me ask you about the coconut milk? It can look and smell good, bro. You're missing an ingredient,
You're missing something.
I'm not eating that, bro. I'll do bread and butter before I do that, bro. You come in here with missing ingredients, bro. Nah, I'm good on that, man. Yeah, I'm good on that. You jerking chicken without jerk sauce. Nah, that's barbecue breast, bro. I don't want that. It has to have all the ingredients, man.
He said, I just get the bread and butter and go to sleep. Leave me alone. No, I feel you, man. That is true. That's why a lot of times people ask me, hey, cook some Ghanaian food. I'm like, bro, Ghanaian food are so specific. If I do it wrong,
bro, if you don't have all the ingredients, you don't even waste the ingredients that you have. Exactly. So if it requires 10 ingredients and I got 8, I'm not doing, oh, let me throw it together with 8. It's like, nah, fam, I can't cook it. Man's like, yo, I'm looking at the chicken right there. I'm like, yeah, but it's missing 2 ingredients, bro. We don't.
I can feel it. I can smell it. It's not there. No, you're right. That I tell people, I say, hey, I'll just cook some regular food. It will be fire, but trust me, I will not dedicate it to any nationality or any culture. Say, this is this culture food. Because, you know, if I'm going to sit there and make some fufu, I have to make it the way Ghanaian makes it. And I need some yam and some, you know, in America, they call it yuca root, which is cassava, right?
Cassava.
I need the plantain and the cassava and then to make fufu. That's how you make fufu. Nigerians.
So wait, is fufu like a mashup of them 3 things?
So it's, some people do put yam in it, but I don't like that. I like the plantain, the green plantain. You boil it, and then cassava, you boil it, and you pound it. That's why they do the pounding, and then becomes that round, the greenish thing, right? Yellowish sometimes. But my Nigeria's family, they use, theirs is called pounded yam, but they call it fufu.
Oh, okay.
So the difference is Ghana fufu, they will eat it with soup. And making the soup alone is a whole journey that I don't have time for. You need every single ingredient.
Now, we're talking about serious cooking though, Kwaza. We're talking about 4 to 6, 8 hours of cooking.
Thank you.
You have to open up a full schedule day for that, man.
It got to be on the weekend.
Not no, yo, let me whip this up in 30 seconds like some Hot Pockets and none of yeah, and serious cooking, bro. Serious cooking, man.
You know, so
and here's the thing before we push past this. For me, if you're gonna go embark on a 6-hour journey, bro, you have to have all the ingredients. You're wasting time. And that's why I slap them in the face and just grab a piece of bread and some butter and go to bed, bro, because you wasted 8 hours. You wasting 8 hours and I still have to end up with bread and butter. You could have just butter up some bread then. Going on an 8-hour journey without all the ingredients. Nah, you know, disgraceful.
You know, if I try to make, I've made jollof 2 times in my life. That's the only time I literally wrote every list that I needed before I went to the grocery store. Usually when I go to the grocery store, it's all freestyling, right? I show up, I just pick, and I keep going. But if I'm going to I try to make jollof, I had to write it down on paper. You know, I watched the YouTube thing, you know, the YouTube University. I wrote everything down. Then I went my way to the grocery store. Then I picked everything. Just like you said, if I miss something, I'm going to be mad while I'm 2 hours in. Then where's the Maggie cube?
Yeah, you can't press pause on the pot either, man, because you know the food change if you go from like high heat to low heat to come back to high heat.
Exactly.
You can take, let me not get into it, man, because I'll be specific in the kitchen.
But we back. Let's bring it back. So what I was talking about was I was giving on Sunday's show. I gave a little bit of love to FSG, right? I said, looking at Liverpool, not just because we are winning and playing well and everybody's excited, the fact that they came here to kind of put some things right, because you could, you know, we heard that Julian Ward is back. You know, some people say in a consulting role, some people say he's actually back in the club. You could see the manager he's calm. He has his hands on everything. That usually that's what you want your manager to be. Focus on the football. Let everything else take care of everything else, right? And I think maybe in the last 2 years he had way too much stuff on his head. And that overwhelmed him. And we saw what happened last year, where he had to come out and had a interview where he said, trust us. The interview called Trust Us. And now I'm looking like you could tell that he got more help. You know, the owners have kind of been like, okay, we can't keep doing this. They listen to people like you know, Grace Khan and those type, you know, Ensman, Savage, those type of people, even 12 men, where they said, we criticize the owners based on what we were seeing, not just FSG out, FSG out, FSG out. We said things are not looking good. And they, you know, the Chelsea game, they came in and they kind of put things right. You could tell things are working a little bit better aesthetically, rather than at the beginning of the season that the transfer was not done yet. The way Fab and Hendo left, that was like impromptu. Nobody was prepared for that. And then something that was not their fault, but if you're looking from behind, you'd be like, bro, what's going on? And that was the stadium where the people who are building it had to go under, what do you call it? Basically file for bankruptcy. I think in England, they would say administration, right? So it's like a lot of things were going on. So the owners had to come in and say, hey, what's going on here? Now they have the new people who are going to come in to finish the stadium. The manager is doing well. He looks happy. The players looks happy. I think one of the most important things that came out of the club was Allison. I think it was after the Bournemouth game Bournemouth game. And he said, stop speaking for us. We hear all these nonsense. You know, don't tell us about transfer this, transfer that. We haven't said anything. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So that was what I'm giving some shout out to the owners. Yes, they don't need a cookie for doing something they're supposed to do. But if we're going to criticize them, we also have to acknowledge when they do something right. What do you say?
You said a lot. Always gonna hold you accountable. I never criticized the owners, bro. So don't be throwing me in there. I've always said it's un-American to complain about a man who owns a majority share into something.
Right.
It's not something we do because I can't tell you what to do with your channel. I can give you an advice. I can criticize how you're running your channel, but to tell you what you should be doing and telling you should, you know, cancel yourself and like that, I'm stepping out of line. I can't tell you how to run your household. So if I can't tell you those small margins, why should I tell you that big margin of like what you're doing with your $1 million or $1 billion company? But I hear what you're saying. If people are gonna criticize them, when creditors do, yo, pay up the credits. Don't try to pocket it according to one of their accusations. So you're saying they're making money and pocketing it. Okay, so when they're doing good, you're just gonna take all the accolades for yourself? Nah, give back some of the accolades, because if we're doing good, they're doing good. If you're gonna say we're gonna pocket it because we're never gonna praise these men, then yo, go look in the mirror, man, and don't ever even address me in the chat or on any stream, because I can't respect you. You have to have some sort of integrity about you when you go about these things. But on with like steadying the ship and the ship looking more steady, I don't want to sit here with you, Quasi, and be like, yo, you know what, I'm gonna have to give FSG their flowers for fixing up, because there was always a disconnect with the argument to begin with. And it's weird, but your praise also comes with a disconnect, and I'll educate you on that disconnect. So, say the club's not run right, get FSG out of here. That's where we started, right? Then you're saying, well, they got the club running right, so give them credit. Here, where's the disconnect is, they don't know football. They, you know what I'm saying? We're from a soccer culture. They don't know football, so they say we need the right footballing people in. After all the success Klopp has brought to the club and elevated the status of the club under their, you know, tenure, they have now get an idea of what footballing people looks like, smell like, walk like, and act like. So in the course of last season, it's also a learning curve, not just for fans, players, coaches, staff, and owner. It's a learning curve for everyone, because I'll ask you, take Klopp out of this. When have we ever been at this level in modern football in time? So I said this, I think, on Kopish. We're in new territory. Owner in new territory. Manager has never been this successful either. So it was a completely new territory for everyone. So if they brought Klopp in, and let's say Klopp was on a 7, when we brought him in, just off the strength of 4 seasons at Dortmund. You'd be like, well, Klopp doesn't know 10 years worth of football at that level.
Right.
So when he got to Liverpool, you add his 4 good years at Dortmund, added to our 7 great years. You can now say Klopp's had 10 solid years at the elite level, challenging the best of the best, correct? He just got there at Liverpool. Here's another thing. FSG never owned a footballing club. So now that they got the football club, their best 10 years, 70 to 80% of that is under Klopp. So under their tenure, Klopp has brought the most successful time under their tenure. So it's like they now know what it's like to own a football club at that level. We were never at that level with FSG. So now you have owner and manager up there. They're like, okay, we can't rely too much on Klopp to be the footballing guy. That's where you say he was doing too much. Klopp, okay, what does this lane look like? Okay, if we get that guy in there, well, there's a placeholder, or let's see how he gets on. What are the, the KSI or the KPIs that we're using to mark them to see how well they're doing? What are the index points to see if they're a great fit? You know what I'm saying? They overachieving or underachieving. I think what last season was able to do was took us back down a couple level, which no one really wanted. Because sometimes you have to take a few steps back to go forward. So when you take those few steps back, you can identify what steps is needed to get us back up there. So now that things are looking like it's all kumbaya, great start, couldn't have asked for a better start this season, I don't want to give the owners this credit. I think the credit should be given to whoever identified the right KPIs for the right people to come in. Or, sometimes you get a job quasi, and the job might say, hey, go out there and wave at 5 people. Well, if you go out there, you wave at 5 people, then you spend the rest of the day idling. What if you can wave to 100 people? What if you can wave to 5 people, then come inside, clean the building up, go back out and wait for another 5? So job description change as the company become more successful, or your job description can be less, you know what I'm saying, if you're going through a rough time. Or if they're laying off people, you might pick up more responsibility. They bring more people in. Guess what? Your responsibility and focus becomes a lot more smaller. Now, well as I do, if your focus point become a lot smaller, your impact will be a lot more. You see what I'm trying to say? So when we look at all these things, you can't just go, oh, because I was shooting at the wrong guy, I'm going to go give the wrong guy flowers. Because no, man. So I always said, let's identify who are doing these things. So to the point you were saying, and that's why I hope you see the picture I've painted, we can't just give them the flowers because we was trying to kick them. You know what I'm trying to say? They didn't directly grab the thing by the steering wheel and steer us clear of danger. They got the right people in. They focused, some of the job description, taking some responsibility. So they just kind of, I wouldn't say they did it either. Maybe let's say I'm in there, they gave me too much. And I'm like, yo, this is way too much. I'll be more effective with 4 tasks versus 10. Are you now going to say you're going to praise the owner because I was the one who realized I'm burdened, so I need to, delegate this elsewhere? So, bro, it can just all be on Klopp once again as the footballing guy in there that go, hey, owners, this is how we need to get back. Let this guy do these 3. Let this guy do that 4. It could just all be on Klopp, bro. It can all just be on Klopp.
It still could be on Klopp,
and we're here giving away Klopp flowers to the owners because of our conscience of, kicking them and cussing them. And you know what I'm trying to say? So my thing is, I'm not giving FSG this flowers. I think Klopp and the players, and I even, like you mentioned, Ali, so I'm going to say players because I don't want to speak for Ali. I think everyone around there looked around and go, nah, it's smelling stink. Nah, it's smelling stink. We need to fix up. What do you need to do better? And it was like, yo, boss, I can't do 5 things that I can do 2, but I'll do it to the best of my ability. Done. Who's picking up the other 3? Done. I got this. What do you got? You got that? You got my 6. You got my 9. You got my 3. It could just be everyone in-house, bro. It could just be an in-house thing. And then they're like, yo, Henry. Henry comes over. It's like, yo, smells like peppermint and lavender up in there. You see what I'm trying to say?
No,
as
soon
as they walk in, what are you doing? Hey, FSG, thanks for fixing up. Very disrespectful for everyone that fixed up. You know what I'm saying? So that's me still.
No, I mean, this is the thing, though. I understand what you're saying is valid, factual. What I'm saying is there was a problem, right? And the problem, it looked like there was no direction in the club, especially when we have two major players leave. At least we knew one of them was going to leave. But two major players leave, that has never happened in the club like that before. So for all of us, like you said, it was a lesson for all of us, because usually we identify the problem, we fix it, then we let it go, right? The reason why I'm giving them some kudos is because I think they put their foot down, which is something that, if not, I'm not even talking about the FSG out people. I'm talking about people who, like even yourself, who educated me on the Klopp and Edwards situation back then, I would say 18 months ago, which it opened my eyes. I'm like, okay, I see, following the dotted lines, I'm like, okay, I see where the problems were coming from. But yes, you can't just give him cookies, but you also have to give him kudos for them saying, hey, because they trust Klopp. So eventually some conversation was having, probably putting Klopp into a more, like you say, a focus, rather than trying to fix everything at once. Oh, don't worry, I got this. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that they did their job.
I'm inclined to disagree once again, and you see how consistent I've always been.
Mm-hmm.
When you're saying you're giving them credit, and I'd rather give Klopp the credit, and here's why I say I'd rather give Klopp the credit. I've always believed, and I could be wrong, just like most of us anyways, I've always believed FSG are a tool. If I give you a toolbox full of tools and I said, take out that screw, and you're grabbing a socket and it's a Phillips screwdriver, you can't get it out, bro. If there's a Phillips screwdriver in a toolbox where you're saying it's not the type that you're accustomed to, so you can't get it out, you can't blame the toolbox for not getting the screw out. You have to blame the guy using the tool. So I've always believed if Klopp had told him to jump out the window after winning the league, they would have.
They would have. Yeah, I agree.
And it's not to use this good moment to like kick Klopp. Like, I really want to give him his flowers, because there was an interview he did before, at the end of the last summer window last year, before the season really got rolling. And he said, we need to take more risks. I need to take more risks. I've always said Klopp's probably avoiding spending 250 million a year, because with the money come expectation, and he was floating in an area where it wasn't really a big expectation. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if he's in that pocket of safety and I've won the league with challenging coming up, there's no need for me to risk rebuilding a squad, bringing in that guy in, ruffling feathers. You know what I'm trying to say? Just to beat City. Like, here's something a lot of people aren't going to take well, and I'll be the first to say it. Bro, there's nothing wrong with coming second in the league. You don't want to come second 10 years in a row. But, bro, sometimes you have to say the better team won.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not happy with second, but I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with coming second. And I feel like that pocket, coming second to a team like City, it's a very comfortable pocket to say they got us by 1 point. They got us by 14 millimeter. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a comfortable. If we're coming fifth and sixth, you have a lot of complaint. Coming second to City, we come second to City and they got Haaland, bro. It's easier to say, well, good, it's just Haaland. 6 games in, he got more goals than Man United and Chelsea as a team. And that's one guy. That's one guy. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's like what I'm trying to say is he was in a pocket where he didn't even need to take the risk. But us as fans, we wanted that risk. Yo, go get that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Go get that guy. Bring him here. And Papa's like, bro, we don't need to. We got Ox, we got Naby, and we still coming second. We got the Brexit midfield and we won the Champions League. We don't need nothing. Was he lying, Quasi? No, he wasn't. But did us as fans wanted more? Yeah, we did.
More.
But because we couldn't shoot Klopp, we're like, Klopp, you lucky still. FSG, gun blazing. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Bro, they had nothing to do with it. They're sitting there like, Klopp, I'm catching strays, bro. You said you're good. What's up with your peoples? You know what I'm trying to say? So now,
okay, I'm gonna write that point because that is exactly what my point was.
So what I'm trying to say to you now is they didn't grab Klopp by the throat and said, "Get your peoples off my back, fix up." I think Klopp went to him and be like, "Yo, boss, you've been catching a lot of stray. It's my fault." Bad. So I think Klopp was the one that went there and be like, "You know what? This is how we fix it. Because if I don't fix it, my people's gonna be on you. If I leave, my people will be flying to America, not for vacation." You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, to come see you.
They be at the Red Sox game protesting. You know what I'm trying to say?
You saw the Tampa Bay game?
Bro, I've always blamed him for this as well. He allowed us to get so toxic against the owner. It was unhealthy. To the point, remember when they flew the thing over the game and he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna fist bump y'all because y'all being disrespectful." Right. Yeah, bro, you've been watching us chat shit on the internet and you didn't say anything. Exactly. You see us shooting an innocent guy. You didn't say anything. You didn't interrupt nothing. Now it's getting toxic. You're like, "Rah, you know what? Let me try to mend this before it boils over too much." And to be fair, I respect you for doing even an FSG conversation right now because now that Klopp is fixed it, and I'm saying Klopp, I don't know if he's Klopp, the right one, but I'll give him more flowers than the owner.
No, I agree because, and that's it. The point that you made, right? The toxic started from him, and it was blamed to somebody else.
Bro, right? when he said we got bills to pay, he was way out of pocket. Bro.
That was exactly my point, right?
he was
the
way out of pocket.
Came out from him, but the part where I think maybe I spoke way too much, and should I just said the owners the manager held himself accountable. And went to the owners, and the owners listened to him and say, "You know what? Let's okay, we got you. What do you need?" Because this is one thing I've always said about FSG. If you are good, they will give you the key to the castle.
Quasi, we're in America. We know this firsthand, not just his fans.
No.
If you have a boss, and your bro, I'll just go on a little tangent and I'll show you something. Every company I go to, it's not a bragging thing. I'm very humble. I've always went in with a lot of experience and I've said, "Look, I don't want to be the top guy. I just want to come here. I just want to go through the motions. I just want to stay in that pocket of a good employee and a good servant, do my thing, go home to my family," right? And my skills always just propel me to the top. Like Klopp didn't plan on coming here and being what he is. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna make you guys relevant. I'm gonna make you guys believe. I'm gonna just stay in the pocket. I'm gonna do my time, be a good servant to Liverpool, move on my merry way."
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? He came, got propelled to the top. Kind of like with me, right?
Yeah.
Bro, every company I go to, within 6 months, I'm the top guy. I'm the top guy, company on my back, I'm carrying it. The owners always look to me and be like, "Nah, you a gem. What do you need?"
Right.
What is it that you need? Nah, let me fly you here and we'll talk about and it's always happening. I'm like, "Yo, am I the only one or people not understanding the value of being like a good servant or be of good service to an organization?" Because bro, when you work hard, you get rewarded. The Klopp has worked really hard for this club, and the manager and the owners would have no issue rewarding him with whatever the hell he needs, bro.
Yep. And people didn't see that.
I felt like he just didn't take that risk. He might have not been accustomed to that.
See,
he was at Mainz. Mainz wasn't going to pay that forward. He was at Dortmund. They wasn't going to pay that forward. Guess what?
Broke.
These so-called Yanks, they will pay it forward. But what is it you need?
And that's the part where people did not understand. And that's where I'm saying I want to give them some kudos for them to come out and say, whatever. Let's agree that Klopp is the one who went to them and say, "Hey, bro, I need help." Right? They could have said, "Well, you've been turning water into wine all these 7 years. Just keep doing what you're doing." But this time they'll be like, "Okay, fine. We're going back to the beginning on how we structured this club when you first came in, so that you focus on football. Yes, you still have decisions, in terms of player outings and players innings, right? You focus on mostly on football, but when we need you, because even the 100 thing, he wasn't happy with the Casado Liverpool going straight with say 100 million because he had to come back and apologize.
Nah,
He had to
I wouldn't say
apologize
he
for the
wasn't
statement he
happy.
made.
I wouldn't say he wasn't happy because I think that'll be unfair to him. There's statements we made as kids that as adult, you're like, yo, what the hell was I thinking? Was I really trying to fight Santa Claus, who didn't even exist? You know what I'm trying to say? So we say some things, and then, bro, it's some 7-8 years later. So if you're thinking the same over the course of 10 years, it's either you know exactly who you are and you refuse to change with the times, or you're just ignorant to the fact that you're not allowing yourself to grow. So I don't mind somebody getting, I don't mind Klopp getting it wrong, but the Klopp getting it wrong in that aspect, not even wrong, but the way he viewed football, he didn't know football would have evolved to this, and he wouldn't know, he didn't know he would be at this level with football. You see what I'm trying to say? Imagine if Klopp had gotten sacked when we lost the final, right?
The first final.
We didn't win it yet. We lost the final, right?
Yeah.
And he got sacked. Where would have Klopp gone to where he's okay with 100 million signing? So he had to stay at Liverpool. So he had to stay at Liverpool and grow through those, coming runner-up in finals, you know, coming second, winning the league, Champions League. He had to be here to grow out of that. So I applaud him for growing on the job as well.
True.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's facts.
He came in with some attributes, and he himself as a manager grow. When he came, he was wearing glasses. He ain't wearing glasses no more. Bro, I'm just saying.
He has a bleach and everything.
Bro, so what I'm trying to say is he is growing and learning on the job just like everyone should. You can't just be going in a job like, yeah, I press 5 buttons, that's it. Yeah. Well, are you as a person growing and changing? Because every day is a new day. Every year is a new year. Every season is a new season.
True.
And that's what I'm saying, for the owners to look and be like, bro, if we did this when you first came in, out of here. Would have been out of here. So now I think they go, new team, let's get it right.
Right.
New team, let's get it right.
Now, before I move on, I see there's a very good conversation going in the chat, but let me give some shout out to some people in the chat. We got Alexander, we got Lloyd, Paul's in the building. Brian, as always showing love. Ozen, excuse me. Ozen Kabak is in the building. He said he needs no color in his hair, so we'll just give him a trim. Redbird, I see you. I see you in the house. So Trap Joe says this, right? He said last season it was mostly on club decision, no matter how you sliced it. And
yeah, that's not debatable, to be fair. That's not debatable.
And then Paul was like, how do you mean? So Trap Joe came back and said he made a lot of mistakes in his decision, not only with his managerial decision, but also with the tactics. Like he said, not debatable, But one thing that Brian is saying, and I think goes with what you were saying earlier, is he's a very slow change. He takes.
Brian, I agree as well. And to the people in the chat, big up yourself as well, man. One of the things people fail to realize is, Klopp even said this weirdly. Sometimes you're a victim of your own success, because you can win an award, employee of the month, employee of the year, and it can get to you, bro, to where you're feeling like you don't need to change. New systems coming into the job. You're like, I don't need to learn that. I'm employee of the month last month. What are you telling me? You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. I'm employee of the year, rookie of the year. How many rookie of the year fall off? You know what I'm trying to say, Quasi? Most sports.
Yep, that's
you know what I'm
true.
trying to say? They got this wonder kid. How many wonder kid fell off between 25 and 27 years old? So it just goes to show with some of these conversations, man. And even with me as a person, and if you're not a part of the 100, and I'm not saying you're like Zamiri, don't do me, but bro, go over there, challenge yourself.
That's true.
Challenge yourself to be a better person. I just don't feel like certain challenges is for me, because you can't be measured against someone else's success or someone else's growth. So other manager in 10 years, they've probably grown a lot. Some of them become very stale. Arsene Wenger, stale.
Exactly.
Stale.
Excuse me, that's a carbon copy.
David Moyes going to Man U, it wasn't like he was stale, but sometimes the job can be overbearing.
That was way too much for him.
West Ham, that's his level. Had he stayed at Everton and really cooked, probably could have been ready for Man U now. You see what I'm trying to say? Because they had a really, I'm not going to say it's a good Everton team, but probably one of the better Everton teams we've seen.
They had in a long time,
He went to West Ham. He's cooking. If he stays at West Ham and go through those that you know what I'm saying, that mud and really grab down there.
He brought them a European Cup.
Bro, I'm not saying he's ready for the Man U job now, but sometimes you have to really assess yourself honestly. And sometimes I think that's one of Klopp's.
Yes,
that's one of Klopp's biggest attribute. He's honest, bro. He's an honest man. So he knows where he went wrong, and he's fixing it.
Yeah,
it's a bit slow. Remember when he was bringing on bare late subs, no subs?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are you doing? Midfielders at center backs with center backs. It's like, bro, what's up, man?
But yeah, Brian, I got you, man. Come in. We got you with the towel shave, man. Don't worry. I got you. Come through. Welcome, Mohammed. We appreciate you. Yes, we are laughing at Chelsea fans and Man U fans. They're in the mud, and exactly what.
All right. I'm an honest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mohammed is it? Let me tell you something, Mohammed. Don't laugh at the fans, bro, because here's what you do. Fans are all brothers and sisters in whatever you identify as. We're on the same level, right? To laugh at the fans is like to laugh at the family member. Remember, we're footballing family.
But it's okay. Sometimes you have to, Mr. Berry. Sometimes you have to.
But to laugh at them depends on what you're laughing at them for. If you're laughing at them because they thought Patch was it, laugh at them for that. But just don't laugh at them just to laugh at them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Some fans, you have to just to teach them a lesson. Arsenal fans never learn. So them, you can't even laugh at them anymore. It's a behavior. But also, this was a great comment that Paul May said, slow change is loyalty, which I think it was slightly with what you were saying earlier with Klopp. But I think the fact that he had that interview and he came out and said, yeah, I needed this season to realize my mistakes. One thing I've noticed with him, and it's a very cautious approach, but it's respectable, is he never came in and kicked over the putt. I think David Moyes did it when he went to Man U. He tried to F Fergie and F Fergie's way. I'm ripping up this. Klopp came in and was like, conquered all of Europe. Okay, we'll go with that. You just need to believe. I'll let you believe. He didn't come in and was like, yo, we're changing up. So he didn't really change the identity. He just said, I'm going to do things to complement it. And some of the decisions that were being asked of him would have probably forced the way we look at things. And, like telling a football fan, don't sing. It's like you have to word it so precise, because if you word it wrong, we'll be on to him. Like, you can't tell us not to sing. But what he really said was, don't sing it at the beginning of the game. Let's get the job done, then sing it. So he kind of just rolled. He just, you see a group of people running and you just ran and you get in stride. You see them doing the left, right, left. He didn't run it out of stepping and force everyone to get on his step. He was like, let me get in step with you guys, and then we'll make sure we're at the right pace. We're not going to burn out, even though we did burn out. But, he realized what burned us out. And he was like, okay, so I need to do this to freshen it up so we can go the distance. And I'm telling you right now, Quasi, the way we start, it's not a fast pace like City, but it's a pace that we can go the distance with, and that's key. Agree. The marathon. And
we're here for a marathon.
Yes. Do you agree with what Brian is saying? He said something changed for Klopp this summer. I think he was on a downer, but he got fresh energy now. The new players could be. But a lot of times that people don't understand that this man has gone through a lot. He lost his mother, I believe, or his dad during the COVID year. He hasn't had time to grieve yet. This guy has gone from season to season, and the COVID year was very short. Right after we won the league, the Finnish Champions League, and we went right back into a league that we almost became invisible that season, which it take a toll to everybody, the fans. Zuberi, quick question. Don't tell me eventually when we knew that we were not going to challenge for the league, you were more happier watching the games knowing that there's no expectations that every time we have to beat somebody because City just did that. It was stressful for everybody. So in a way, we all needed that break, but it's just that this break was exactly what we did. It was I wasn't happy, until I would say the last 10, maybe 15 games. Yeah.
That's when I really started getting happy, because he was still trying to be systematic in the old ways, and we just couldn't get a tune out of that. So I became happy once he switched it up, and I think he like the inverted thing. You seen Jones start getting a lot of time, and one of my asks before he did that with Ensman TV, I said, "Yo, let's just measure the squad. Let's measure the freaking squad, and see if we can get 7 or 10 players out of here." You know what I'm trying to say, and fix up.
Yeah.
Don't give me flowers. We got rid of 7 players. Is it a coincidence? He measured the squad, bro. And realized what he said to Wataru when he came in. We need your legs. We need your footballing brains. We need your experience. All of those things aren't things that you look to a $100 million signing for.
Right.
All of those things isn't things that you go and get a Kai Havertz for. You see what I'm trying to say? So then we now, for the first time in about 8 years, realize what Klopp needs from a player. Remember, who was like, yo, why the hell is he so picky? Nah, man, turning on this guy, that guy. What is he looking for?
Right. We couldn't figure it out.
People don't even want to acknowledge this. To think the signing that got us that confession would be Wataru Endo is mad. Think about that, Quasi, what I'm saying to you. He didn't say this to Sabazalai. He didn't say this to McAllister. Didn't say it to Gavin. It took a guy like Hendo, Wataru Endo, to come in, and he's like, this is what we need.
He said, I need
now
you.
We know what cops need. You can look at Wataru Hendo and be like, bro, we signed 4 midfielders. You're at the bottom of that. And Klopp is saying, that's what we need.
That's the guy that I need, yeah. It says a lot.
It said, bro, it said so much, and it goes over so many people's head.
Because they want the shiny toy.
They wanted the shiny toy that doesn't offer any football intelligence and any experience. Caicedo don't have that experience. Lavia don't have that experience. They might have got the legs, football ability, raw. It still needs ironing out. So all these things I'm trying to say to you, Havertz don't fit them. Havertz don't fit them, bro. A few players fit them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll laugh at Havertz before I laugh at a fan still.
That sounds personal, man. That sounds personal.
You know what pissed me off about him?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the Farmers League agenda. This guy in the Bundesliga, along with Werner, are rated high, right? And they both went to Chelsea. Werner went back. This guy have the gall to think that jumping from Chelsea to Arsenal.
That does not make sense to me.
Wait. He could write it off on Chelsea just being Chelsea.
He brought the Chelsea problem to Arsenal.
Bro, this man think, oh, if I just leave Chelsea, I'll be good. Nah, bro, it doesn't work like that. Ask Lukaku about that.
He's scoring goals.
It's not about scoring goals. We're not just going to big up men because men scoring up for Belgium and that, bro. Man, let's just be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Lukaku at West Brom, fire. Lukaku at Everton, fire. For Chelsea,
he was
ice.
Okay.
Ice,
twice.
Cold.
Twice. Like every time, what's wrong with Chelsea? Every time he goes there, he's ice cold. Even at Man U, he scored some goals.
Yeah, he did, to be fair. But I just laugh at the guy, man, because even Sancho kind of fits the mold now. Like, leaving Man U, you can't just write it off on Man U being Man U. Certain things, it's just, there's a saying, shout out to Steph, he told me recently, more is caught than be taught. So like you pick up more than you actually get taught something. So like you catch a habit faster than you can be taught a habit.
True.
So if you go in a dead environment, you can pick up a lot of dead energy.
Influence. That's the
you know what I'm trying to say? Now to teach you how to drop that might be a lot more difficult than it is for you to pick it up. So I think he just picks that up, man. Right now, it's a matter.
And I think that's why players like McAllister chose Liverpool, because he could have gone to Man U. He could have gone to
picked up some bad stuff, bro. Yeah. So and that's another thing I praise Klopp for, the environment he tried to have and preserve is the exact type of environment a guy like Lavia needed.
Yes, he's young, and even Caicedo needed that.
I'm not gonna go that far, bro, because let me tell you something. When you're being touted for 100 mil and above, you now become a victim of your own success. Meaning, it's on you to show that now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
It's gonna be on. At some point, you're gonna have to pay that forward, because it's like taking a leap of faith into you, hoping you come good.
Right. But
bro, it's on you now to be good, whether the environment is trash or not. Remember when Bruno went to Man U? Bro, he picked him up, bro. A lot of people don't talk about, bro. He picked him up with the little hop skip penalty. Cold, by the way. Cold.
That's cold. But this is the reason why I said Liverpool, because this is what people did not understand, why Klopp did not want to make drastic change so fast. You know, the Milners and the Henderson, the Fab, because like you said, the culture that he was building, you can't just bring some players and change it right away, right? You want to pass it on. So somebody like Caicedo coming to Liverpool, you're going to be there with VVD, who was the most expensive player, defender at one point. So he could teach you how to deal with that kind of pressure. Alisson, for what, 2 minutes, he was the most expensive goalie until Kappa came in. But still, Alisson would teach you something. The South American...
Not to jump off that point, Kepa had to prove that and pay that forward, and he did not either.
He didn't do it.
Alisson paid it forward. Salah, us getting Salah was a gamble.
Yeah.
Like, after us, most teams was looking at Salah like...
we're not sure yet. Yeah, he's doing good in Italy, but...
You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. I don't know if it's an Italian thing, man. So he had to pay the doubters, you know, he had to pay that forward. And now it's like, nah, man is up there. Trent, remember Trent went to right back. We were really taking a chance on him. Klopp was really like, bro, Klopp could have went and got a right back, bro. Klopp was like, bro, I'll let you do your thing. Paid it forward. So a lot of players, when you reach a certain bracket, it's on you to pay it forward. Like, there's no hiding under the radar no more. But we got Fab for around 42, maybe 40 mil.
40 mil, yeah.
Out of nowhere. No one knew that was going to happen.
No one knew what was happening.
It was like, yo, bro, this is the Real Madrid reject. Casemiro's better than him. Bro, he paid it forward. You know what I'm trying to say? Robbo, we took him up from home. Bro, that's a gamble. Robbo, here's your moment. You're going to pay it forward. What do you, bro? Man's been unstoppable, bro. Being touted as the greatest left back. A lot of our players was, bro, Bobby Firmino. Man was a mismatch in our team. Didn't know
our
where
team when Rogers was there. Yeah, it wasn't working.
He was, bro, man was a cam. We didn't know where to stick him. Klopp's like, bro, I'll stick you up there. Just link the thing. He's like, bro, you just saying link it? That's it? Link it?
I'm going to build a system around you. That's what.
Now, Harry Kane trying to mold his player the way Bobby plays it. Man paved the way, you know.
The only one person who did it
doing this false nine thing, and I'm like, hey, yo, Bobby set that up, you know.
There's only one person who made it work, and that was Big Benz. Big Benz was the only one that I saw doing that fall. Well, besides Barcelona and Spain, you know, but the Bobby style of play, I think Big Benz.
Bobby ironed it out just as much as Conte ironed out having energy
box to
box and football and IQ. Can bring to the table where man is saying the Conte role. When man puts your name and put role in a team sport, you're like, yo, what the you see what I'm trying to say? So people are like, yo, we need a 6. That's a destroyer. I'm gonna break something to you. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Trap Joe. Trap Joe, I got a crazy one for you. Everyone's strapping. I got something for you.
It's coming.
Liverpool fans said we needed a 6.
Talk about it.
Here's the thing. They're not wrong, but here's a problem. And Klopp tell you the problem, and y'all missed it. Hendo is a 6, but the type of 6 we want isn't the Jorginho type of 6. Let me tell you where that's going now. Jorginho's an amazing 6. People are like, nah, Zabiri's trash. Here's what Jorginho is. Jorginho is the best 6 to drop between your center backs and do nothing.
Oh, he needs the ball one time.
If that is your style of play. However, if you're farther up the field, you don't want your 6 in between the center backs. No, you don't. You want an attacking 6 that can do the role, but he's up the pitch. Klopp said Hendo plays, but he's too far from the action.
Yeah.
Because Hendo is that Jorginho type of 6 that drops between your center back and rough man up. In the low block, drop between your center back, close the hole up. That's not the type of 6 the Liverpool fans want. We want that attacking
destroyer.
6. Like, it's not even a destroyer. It's just an attacking 6. Like Bruno Guimaraes got the legs and energy. He'll stay up there. He'll be in the action with the action on both ends of the pitch. Hendo isn't that up the pitch action type of guy. Jorginho isn't. But are you going to say they're not a great 6 because they're not up the pitch in the action? You can't say that. But we're trying to measure one position that requires a lot of dynamism between whether you're up there in the action or you're dropping back. Fab was a quarterback type of 6 as well.
Yeah,
in moments he snuffed stuff out. Yeah.
You know,
that's not what we want.
Yeah.
But that's not what we want. And a lot of fans didn't even realize what they were asking for. So they just labeled it loosely and said, we want a destroyer. Bro, that's not a destroyer. Guimaraes isn't a destroyer. He's just a guy, bro, he's in the thick of things for 90 minutes. I'll give you an example. Paulina for Fulham.
He's type of player.
In the thick of things, bro.
Even what's the name? Paqueta from West Ham.
Now, Paqueta is a different type of 10 now. You have 2 types of 10. You got that 10 that's a second striker, and then you got that 10 that's, bro, wherever, whenever. I'm pulling up. You say left back, there.
He's there.
6, there. Right, bro, Paqueta is everywhere. He might be mastering the shadow clone jutsu, bro. Man is everywhere, bro.
Bro, if City had gotten that player, man, we would have been in trouble. But from the point that, you know, the breakdown that you just gave, you know how everybody, Pep has just changed football. Now he's doing inverted role, like it just started last year, right? I'm also give shout out to Klopp. Klopp is also changing the midfield. He's changing football. Liverpool, what was our issue when Liverpool was playing a team? 75% to 80% of the teams that we play against, especially the league, what do? Low block. You don't need a traditional 6 when you're playing against a team with a low block, because what is he going to do? Just sit there like he's saying, do nothing. So what did he do? He said, McAllister, I want you there. Because guess what? You could string the pass. We saw it with what he gave to Nunes, right? And he can pass. And
you know, McAllister isn't playing 6 for Liverpool. You know that, right?
No, he's not. That's what I said on Sunday. Liverpool team, those 3 players, they interchange.
It's a flat 3.
It's a flat 3, but they interchange all the time.
Bro, it's a flat 3. Whoever finds himself in the middle,
you find yourself there.
If you're standing in the position of a 6, run 6. You see what I'm trying to say? It's not about, oh, we need a 6. It's about, bro, what system are we playing? Let's get 3 guys in there that can play any role in this goddamn midfield.
Right.
That's it, bro. It's like having 3 Milner, but of a higher level. Well, not higher level, but it's like having 3 Milner that has a better footballing ability. Not to limit his football ability, Milner. But if Milner is a 7, it's about having 3 guys that can give you a 9 out of 10 performance. That's literally what it's about.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff, you know, now people are catching up to it. Maybe Klopp don't want a 6. The 6 that Klopp we want is not what the one that Klopp want.
Because Klopp don't want a guy that's specialized in one area.
One area, exactly.
You see what I'm trying to say? He doesn't want a guy that's specialized in one area because that add limitation to us. So the ability to put Bajcetic right back, and people are like, yo, the hell is Bajcetic doing that right back? And it's like, bro, if we're gonna run inverted anyway, and inverted is his position anyway,
he's a midfielder.
Is he really a right back?
No, he's not.
Here's the thing. Hint. Trent was never a right back either.
Facts.
But you're gonna complain about man doing invert. Man is in the middle of the field anyway, bro. But you know, people just want to say they know more than Klopp and this and that and the third, and you know, what I mean, I just ask him one thing, bro. If Klopp can look at himself and fix up, look at yourself and fix up as well, man.
That's true. And the thing is, and last time I was talking to people, and I said, you don't. We give credits to other teams when they don't do well, and then we're like, oh, it's okay. They just started. 12 man is in the building, people. He's about to get his dread braided a little bit, get it cleaned up. I know he shaved his side, so I can give him those edges on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do actually. That's so funny. I'm getting.
Oh, I know, man. Barbershop, man. Welcome.
Stick up in. Big up, 12. Welcome. I gotta let you know, 12, because we had a conversation. Quasi text me, was like, yo, Zabiri, if you're free, you can jump on. And then I saw like 3 pictures of what he was supposed to send.
I forgot. Sorry.
Nah, so he didn't send me because he didn't want me to come on here today and be like, nope, dead. You know what I'm trying to say? So he only sent the pictures after he sent the link. He was like, yo, let me not send them before the stream, kids.
That's hilarious.
How you doing, though, 12?
Good, brother. Good. Always good after a quality win, and and then I love the fact that we've got so much going on. Like as in tomorrow we got another game, then the weekend there's another game. It's coming fast and furious, and I love it. And with the depth that we have on this club, if we can just maintain our fitness, I'm looking at some big things this year. So I'm happy.
No. We the thing is, and I want us to move on to this real quick. And I'm glad that you're here, 12 man. Everybody's making a big fuss about Liverpool defense, and I'm getting frustrated because Zuberi has been saying this all day. People are not paying attention; they just see what they want to see, right?
Yeah, Zuberi's spot on with that comment too.
Yeah, the Liverpool defense individually they could be top 3, top 5, anybody. Our main defenders, right? But as a team, we're building. Like last week, Zuberi said this is year 1. Club plays defense as a team. The team is really learning new things. So players are not in positions they need to be right now because this is the first time they're playing with each other. We didn't have a long preseason. The games that we just started is 4 weeks, and then they went to international, and then they're back. So you could see that there's a lot of rustiness in our players, especially a player like Gravenberch. That kid is going to be so deadly. I see Yaya Toure. I mean, with me, that's the vibe I'm seeing when it comes to Gravenberch. But I'm getting tired because Liverpool right now, we are number 2 in terms of defense. The positioning is not there yet. So it looked like we are Bambi on ice when it comes to defending. But yet we were down a man for 80 minutes and they were able to score 1 goal. So Zuberi, and maybe 12 man, you want to start with this. Somebody explain to me why people keep saying Liverpool defense it's shaky. That's why we can't challenge or win anything.
I can explain it, and then 12 can rebuttal it.
Okay.
So I'll let 12 rebuttal it, but I'll explain it because I see what you're saying. So I'll explain it. So I'm not speaking for them, but I'll just let you know where they're coming from. So where they're coming from, Quasi, is that fake Zabiri thing that you mentioned last week, or where you said because they said Matip is, trash or crap or poop and Gomez ain't it. So they already put these guys in a knotted category. Okay, I've put them in a knotted category. They're performing well. They now hold on to the hope of, well, why we keep conceding? Well, if you look at all the goals we've conceded, 2 of them I think was mistake from Trent.
Yep. And
one of them, Gakpo wasn't tracking the runner, and we didn't step out as a defensive unit, which I think Trent was the furthest back. In that case, can't blame him, but he should have stepped up. The ball got knotted in. That's 3 goals, right? The 4th goal is VVD is perfectly positioned. He's waiting for the ball to come so he can clear it. And the attacker, Bowen, dived in front of him, nods it in. If Haaland scored that goal, we're saying Haaland is an amazing forward striker, trouncing. We won't say VVD was out of position because he's in the perfect position. He's just waiting for. He cannot expedite the ball to his foot, and he can't jump forward because he's already positioned to get rid of it. And he was intercept. And the dude nods it off his foot. So when people look at those 4 goals and they don't rate Matip and Gomez already, they're like, we need somebody else. There was nobody else you could have gotten to prevented any of them goals.
Right.
So, like I said, they're just trying to hold on to, I told you Matip ain't it. I told you Gomez ain't it, but they have nothing to hold on to. And they're like, I'm beating this song until it goes into beat. I'm playing this tempo until it becomes catchy. I'm singing it. You know them ones 12, where that man just like, I'm gonna win the lotto one day. 30 years later, he wins the lotto. I always knew I was gonna win it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So Quasi, I hope you now understand why they're saying it. 12, the floor is yours to debunk it. I try not to debunk it too much, but I just wanted to let Quasi know where it's coming from. Quasi, they're gonna say it so much to when it does prove them right. I've always told you.
And I know man them. I see some people already even on Twitter. Some, I think, Ant even said somebody's is it's like losing his mind or something, because the man always said Liverpool this. Now the man is like, oh, you take a win however you take it, ugly or beautiful, it's always a win. And as winning, or be like, are you sure, brother? Are you okay, brother?
Yeah.
And the person knows who he is. We love him. I'm not going to mention his name, but we love him. He knows who he is.
No, Superior is right when you say it's funny about that lottery ticket winner basically saying, I finally won. I always knew I was going to win. You're just like,
man is 65, getting ready to retire. He's been buying lotto tickets for 45 years,
Yeah. That's just like, they say, a clock is always right twice a day. Like it's just that simple, because like realistically, it's difficult to understand because we weren't really necessarily a possession-based team before this. We didn't stress it as being our top priority. It was more so the heavy metal, continuously press. And that's still a portion of our game, an important part of our defense. But our front line's pressure has to be on point. If our front line pressure is on point, guess what? We tend to keep the ball in our opposition half, and also control the ball, control the tempo, and also control the dictation of where and what's going to happen with the game. 64% to 64 to 36% possession on the ball. That says something about what you're doing defensively. Okay, it does say something about defensively. Another statistic is, I always say too, when it comes to like corners and goal kicks. Okay, you tend to look at those numbers. At least I do. Primarily as a factor. And I said this on my episode just earlier, on the Tactics Breakdown, on Tactics Tuesday with Liverpool 12th man plug. So like, so if you look at it with corner kicks and when it comes to, again, goal kicks, if you have a lot of corner kicks, it means that you're pressing that team in their, obviously deep
on their half,
in their third, in their half, and they're having no other outlets but to either block or do a clearance and have it go out and play. Obviously, when clearance go to be a throw in, but clearances that go behind the net, or maybe it's a save, whatever it is, that's showing that you have real offensive aggression going forward. It also says how many goal kicks that you have, and those things are important. And I have one other note too to say. But like, the first half is where they got a couple corner kicks. But if you look at our statistics, we controlled it. In the second half, they had no goal kicks and they had no corner kicks. That means that they're really not progressing it forward when you look at those simple numbers. I'm not saying that they didn't have any attempts, but what I am saying is that they have very few attempts. And the last part and point is why I think our captain, Roger Van Dijk, let me say this, VVD, let me say this, the disrespect, or not even his disrespect, but the absolute, the disrespect that is placed on our captain is sometimes so reprehensible. It's so parapunditry, it's so sickening, because if you look at the statistics that I try to break down, there was a reason why I had him as my personal man of the match. But it ended up being I got outvoted by the Mighty Red Army that voted Darwin as our man of the match. But if you look at his heat map, if you look at his numbers, the fact that he got the assist, great, cool, all well and good. We had 26. We won 26 aerial duels versus 9 for West Ham. Repeat that. 26. I think it was, at least I'm going to make sure I got the statistics right, so I don't want to misquote it. I think it was 26 to, I think it was 12 actually. 12. I want to make sure. No, I was right the first time. So 26 aerial duels won by us, 9 won by them. Because you know why? Yeah, it was right. Because ends up being that our captain won 12 out of 13 aerial duels in that game.
By himself.
The man had more aerial duels won than West Ham combined. 12 out of 13 aerial duels this man won. That's impressive. That's like game statistics for a team. You know, that is dominance when it comes to aerial duels. And I mean, like, that's why I'm trying to get across is that I get it, but I love the fact that we are controlling the air. That's going to help us protect against these corners. You know, it's going to help us protect against even create more for us offensively, which obviously did by him getting assists. Put some respect on this man's name, people. I mean, he had 100 touches, 83% passing accuracy. He had 5 out of 6 long balls connected, okay? 5 out of 6 long balls. So those diagonals, he's making the Salah. Excellent. It relieves all the pressure from the defense. It puts people on the back foot. And often when it's a long ball, you're going from your third to their third very quickly. Impressive. You know, he had, again, he was 2 for 2 for his ground duels. So when it came to making these ground duels, he was 100%. You know, like he had 2 big chances created. And this is our center back we're talking about. Our center back, people, defensively, we are better than we get credit for. I get the fact that we are letting in goals, or we're letting goals, but I should say that's singular, not plural, because letting in a goal, maybe in a game here or there, we only have 1 clean sheet, but letting in goal with the offensive power and prowess and the mindset of this team, not having a DM trying to press this, shell and not a lot, and pressing more with a DM/CM hybrid in McAllister. Look, I'm cool if I was doing this. I'm cool if I was, and having that outlet of Endo being the player that we can bring in as a DM to, you know, release the throttle and allowing for us to ride out a game. I think it needs to be commended for what Klopp has done. That's all. I know it's a long thing, but I wanted to make sure I got all that for sure.
Thank you, Brian. So we talking about the way. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
I hope everyone's well.
Yeah. So we talking about the defense. How everybody criticizing Liverpool defense, but Liverpool defense is the second best defense, you know, in terms of goal against right now. What says you know? Juberi talked about them people who keep repeating themselves, talking about, I'm going to win the lotto, and then eventually when something happened, they were like, see, I told you that I was going to win the lotto. And then when they finally win something, they were like, see, I told all of you guys. So what says you about them people?
So, like, in terms of our defense, what our defense is doing?
Because right now everybody's criticizing our defense.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to idiots like that. I haven't seen really, like, I've watched most of the games as much as I can because I don't pay for Sky stuff, so I missed a few chunks. But I haven't watched a single one of our games and thought, oh, this is going to cost us. I've seen every single game follow the same pattern, which is varying lineups, a lot of different back fours, a lot of, I would say, out of how many games? It's 6.
Yeah,
I'd say that was probably at least, I'd say in maybe 4 or 5 of those games, you have an 11 that's never played a proper game together before. When you've got new players coming in, like I'd say almost definitely we've never had an 11 that's been on a pitch before, started the game together before. Especially when you take in the Trent injuries and Virgil injuries or the Virgil suspension. So it's pretty much the same pattern of a bunch of strangers for 10 minutes. That's what they look like.
Right.
And then eventually they get into the game. Sometimes we're behind, sometimes we're not. But eventually the game warms up and we become more and more and more dominant. And the players get used to who's going where and who's like, you can train all you want. You can do as much as you want. But when you've got 11 guys on the pitch who've never actually started a game in the Premier League before, the guys that are playing up against you, they're not going to take part in your little training ground routines. They're not going to take any of that into account. And they're going to go up there. So you've got, if you had a team, say, that's gotten to the end of the season and we're in a Champions League semi-final and it's an 11 that started 80% of our games and they're playing like a bunch of strangers and they're conceding early, then you have a problem. But to me, this is a pattern that looks exactly the same. We start slowly because what I'm talking about, and by the end of every game, we're winning games, we're 2-3 up. I don't see any problem with it whatsoever. Like, you're really tearing things apart. To me, I'm only looking at the attacking play and the new guys, because I know, like, 12 Man did a great job there with a lot of the statistics from the game, but I don't. I saw a tweet from West Ham, a West Ham fan account before the game, which was just quoting Joe. They obviously don't watch Liverpool because they're going Joe Gomez at right back, and then there was a picture. It was like a little thing underneath of Ronaldinho, and he was kind of licking his lips in a lineup before, as if to say, Joe Gomez at right back.
That's
here we go, lads. Here we go. We're going to cook this guy up today. Yeah. And then underneath, the guy had put in Joe Gomez match statistics, and they're unbelievable. Complete dominance. Like 2 out of 2 stuff, all that stuff. Brilliant.
Man of the match for me.
Man of the match performance. Yeah, so I don't see where any of the real worry is. This is, like, these guys coming out and picking this stuff apart, that's fine. If they want to pick it apart, that's fine. I don't really see the issues with it. I don't like, and even people saying Gomez in the inverted.
No, even the Gomez in inverted. Yeah, I mean, Brian, I know you heard that.
He did okay.
Sunday. Yeah, I said that he basically. Yeah, he gave us a middle finger for all of us who are saying, "Don't play inverted food, inverted this, inverted that." And Klopp was like, "No, you're gonna be." And then Joe was like, "Oh, y'all been hating on me? Watch me." And he played it very, very well. And that inverted formation, if it works, it's beautiful. And we saw Gomez just going through people like he was the midfielder, right? So, at the beginning of the show, I was trying to give some credits to FSG. Zuberi is like, hell no, I'm giving it to the manager because of what he's doing right now. And I mean, you can't fault him for saying that, because look at what he's doing for Gomez. For me, I think he was out. Next year, I think they'll be like, bro, thank you, bye-bye, right? But look at him now. Matip is about to get a new contract. Simikas just signed his. So next year, I'm not expecting big 2-3 center backs coming in. I'm thinking maybe 1, maybe 2. That's it. But moving on from that, guys, we have a game tomorrow, right? Let's have a quick chat on that. Leicester City tomorrow. What you guys reckon, man? Zuberi, what are you thinking about tomorrow? Lineup, tactics, whatever.
You asking the wrong guy. Ask your manager, bro, or wait for your manager's pre-match. And that's the issue, Quasi. You know what I mean? Hold you accountable. Don't do what these guys are doing on the internet and get ahead of ourselves. He will come out. He'll address that to some extent because he can't give the tactics away. We can speculate. Yeah. But ultimately, it's not my place to tell you what the tactics is or should be. Because that's not my job. Yeah. My job is to have these conversations and have them to the best of my ability. But the 12-man question, the back four thing, Quasi, and I do disagree with, we won't have 1 or 2 in, because as long as there's 5, there's no need for 6. And I need people to really listen to what I'm saying to you. If you play with a back 3, you're allowed to have 6. If you play with a back 2, you're allowed to have 5. Having more than 5 makes no sense for one of those guys develop. Right. Hence the reason Lovren left. Now, with that out the way, going against Leicester, what I'm expecting is what we are. We're a Premier League team. Leicester's a championship team. I'm expecting 8 rotated guys in. In the Europa League game, it was 11 rotations. 11 from the game before.
Right.
So look at the startup lineup from the previous game. I'm expecting 8 rotations. With those 8 rotations, what I'm looking for is, are you better than a championship team? Because if you are, squad depth, 2 stars.
Yep. Checked.
Squad checked.
Check. Yep.
Bro, checked. So that's what I'm expecting. Tactics-wise, I can care less. I would like to see Hendo or Wataru. I think that's what I heard he wants to be called. Doesn't want to be called Hendo. I don't know if it's because of the previous Hendo.
Yeah.
So I want to see him in there because I think it's a game where he can practice being further forward. Because Klopp said he was sitting too deep in moments. It'll be a good practice for him. I also want to see Tsimikas because it can be a good practice for him as well. I want to see Joey. You mentioned Joey. It's another.
He needs more games.
It's another game under his belt over on the right-hand side. And I think it's another opportunity for him to realize that his England career is over because he's not going to get ahead of any British right back as a right back. And he's not playing as a center back, so he can't be upset if he's not a center back in that team. But if he is, more power to him. And I'm also looking for a man like Elliott to step up and be a little bit, not like Sabazalai, but you see how Sabazalai comes and you're like, bro, I see what you're doing in the midfield, you know. I want a bit of that. I think it's a game where Elliott can practice some of that, you know, being a little bit more, let people know he's there. You don't have to rough them up. I'm not expecting him to body anybody, but just let his presence be felt in the midfield. And also Dork to work on his
to play.
Process. I'm just expecting these guys to come in and show me what I'm expecting. They don't have to do it because if we win the game 5-0 and Hendo was sitting in the pocket, and if Joey never gets any challenge and Elliott didn't have to do anything, I'm not gonna complain. If Doha comes off for 75 minutes, we win 5-0, he doesn't get a goal or assist, I'm not gonna crucify him. But what I just want to see those things. But if we win and it's ugly, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain, bro. But I want to see 8 rotations though, because 8 rotations shows me squad depth is a real thing, and we're setting up for the marathon where no one is getting burnt out.
Right. Most important.
That's what I'm looking for. Tactics, wait for Klopp for that. Anything else, wait for the club for that and the players. That's all I can give you, unfortunately. And also, I got to run. I apologize, guys.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I appreciate
you. Great convo. 12 men. We have to launch that LFC brigade. Let them know the army's in full effect. Brian, hey, big up yourself, man.
Take care, Zuby. Take care, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Colonel. Thank you for coming. Brian. And I know that's why I waited, and he's gone back. I knew when it comes to reviews. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, but yeah, Brian. So
I was gonna say, it wasn't more of a preview. It was just more of a statement about what we were talking about earlier about the defense and everything, or at least the question that I posed about, you know, how we're feeling about that back line and everything else. I like the ideas that you guys are putting forward with the players that we're probably going to see in this matchup coming up. Obviously, when it comes to cup games, especially League Cup games, when it comes to FA Cup, there's a little bit more emphasis on FA Cup than there is on League Cup, but still all the same. As if you're ranking it by tier wise, I think League Cup would be the 4th most important out of the tier of competitions that we're in. But all the same, I think that, I don't know if we're necessarily see Doak start again. I think it would be a real testament, and it would be a feather in his cap, and possibly even a boost to his confidence if he does start over Salah. on that right wing, because it's saying that we do believe that you're going to figure it out. It's going to click for you. I think he has the ability to be the same things that we see from Elliott when Elliott gets to play. I think we could see that same importance of emphasis of commitment, work rate, putting out energy, and bringing to the pitch. I can also possibly see us start Elliott in that right wing position, and have Doak come in as a backup in this game, and be able to save Salah for a very, very important matchup against a really, really difficult opponent in Tottenham, playing at Tottenham. So that's something I could definitely see. I agree with your Endo or you guys saying about what you see Endo playing a role in this. I think Endo should be included. I think Endo. The fortunate thing about what we do with Endo is that a lot of, not myself included, not even anyone on the panel actually, but and I don't even think anyone even in the chat. But what you do see in some of the spaces that we do congregate in, you see a Endo agenda being put out there, where like they just, again, earlier to what I was saying about that center mid / hybrid, whatever we want to call it, DM role or something, that Klopp has. We're not going to see that. So it is going to be interesting. I think we played this team in preseason. I get it was preseason, but you got to realize the fact that Leicester took that game as being a real match for them. So they played their starting 11, and they played them for the majority of the game, and then only made 4 subs. Okay. So they didn't even make 5 subs or 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever. Whereas if we played the first half the way we did, and we played the second half by subbing in an entire, new 11. Okay. So, and still beat them 4-0. So despite the fact that I understand it is what it is when it's coming to it being a game that we have to keep an eye on who we're going to see play. I think it's going to be very interesting to see who Klopp picks, but I also think that we have the versatility of doing a really interesting lineup, considering we're playing at home and considering that how we've played them before. I think that the confidence, the ability of the home crowd to perk up those players. Maybe we see Happy Kwanzaa, play.
I think the center backs will be Kwanzaa and Konate.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think
that would be a very, very cool, very interesting.
I want to see that. I want to see that. They need to go through the fire, because especially Kwanzaa, we want to see his leadership. This is where he built that leadership, because he is in the mold of Van Dijk, and you have to play where even though you are the younger kid, you're still telling the big bro, hey, you need to calm down, So I want to see that.
Yeah.
And Semika's being there, and then Joey probably be the right back, or even like Zubir was saying, what's his name? Stefan Bachatic will probably play right back, and if we do the inverted, he's already a midfielder. It fits perfectly. So
I don't. How Kwasi?
That's what he did against Lassig.
How do you guys feel? How do you feel about? I was going to ask real quick. How do you feel about Bachatic playing the right back? I wasn't exactly sold on it.
He's a defender, so
someone playing out of position, someone that is he's a good player in that, but
we get it.
He just looked like someone that was playing a position that he felt a little out of place.
Yeah, he was.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, when he did it. Yeah, I'd get on to the Leicester stuff. You can ask me about the Leicester stuff properly next. But he said it's to me that if you're going to do that, that's exactly what I'd want. Like, I'd be pretty much on the side of giving that guy as much minutes as possible. And if you're having someone that goes into midfield, and then you want someone who can defend, I think he could be perfect for that role. I'd go as far as to say he could be absolutely perfect. Trent is obviously first choice, but when you've got Bajcetic came through, like a lot of these kids, they come through in certain areas because it's easier. People should forget about where somebody plays as a kid, because oftentimes to get a kid into a team, you put him in a place that has fewer defensive and fewer tactical responsibilities, i.e. wide. There's a spine to a team: a goalkeeper, a centre half, a centre midfielder, and a striker. That's your straight line. Those are your experienced players. You cannot have novices running around the middle of your team. If you're trying to find space for someone to get him into a team, someone who might be a centre half, you put him in a right back. Someone who might be a midfielder, you put him in wide right. Someone who might be a striker, you put him in wide left. You just get him into a team in some way. So I said it starts off as a centre back, then he comes into the team and it's like, no, we're playing you in midfield because that's what you can do. So you can play in midfield, you can play centre half. Then to me, why the hell could you not play an inverted role? It's a no-brainer. A kid who I think should be the future of the team when you're looking at that Thiago replacement, Alavia that was supposed to come in that was going to anchor our midfield, 19 years old, by Sedic. Oh, he's too young, you can't play him. He's only 6 months younger than that. Like, if you have an opportunity where you don't need to be ultra first 11 best players on, a kid like him playing that role, I love that. The idea of him going into midfield and us still having Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister in midfield, I'm all for that. I am absolutely behind that 100%. So if Trent comes back, which is what he'll do, but let's get Bajsedic on the pitch as often as possible, but without the pressure.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. If Trent is coming, I'm sorry to kind of butt in like that.
No. Cool.
Trent, I forgot about Trent. I'm still thinking the boy is still sitting in the clinic somewhere, nursing his injuries. But if he is coming back, that means, I'll go still with the two center backs. I wanted to pick Kwanzaa and Konate, and put Bajsedic as a 6, or Endo as a 6, and Bajsedic as a right 8, and then Gravenberg as a left 8, and then put either Doak or Elliott on the right side. Or even, one of them could play left or right. But I could see that, what's the name? Gapo and Jota is going to have a say in this. So the team is good, man. I like what we built right now. In the beginning of summer, we all thought it was like we need 2 more, we need 3 more. But the more you look at it, all of them are hungry. That's what I love about it. Alexander,
for this Leicester game, like people are saying, what way are we going to take this? Do we, are we like 12 man saying this is the 4th trophy you want to be going for? Like,
quad.
This is not what you want. This is not the first game you want.
No.
You want Cambridge. You want something like that. I know it's not FA Cup, but you want, I don't know, Coventry or something like that. So you can ease your way into this one without saying I'm not prioritizing it. I am prioritizing it.
Brian,
Leicester are flying, man.
They're top of the This is what we need, Brian. Brian, you're right. However, Liverpool plays better when a team is very good. Look at how we have started the league. Those are not easy games, man. Those are banana peels all over the place. So, and especially we got Spurs on Saturday. So club has
that's what I'm saying. I think he would prefer the much easier one to give the boys.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Definitely.
Everybody just throw in a dope. But this one he can't. Like, we don't want to get knocked out of the cup first round.
No.
So I think he may have to change it a little bit, just turn the dial a little bit more towards the first team. But no Salah, no Szoboszlai. But Leicester.
But Brian, check this out though, and I think that's what 12 Man was saying earlier. They are on a run. I think they are at the top of the championship right now.
They are.
They can afford to play their starters and get them injured. So they're gonna make a lot of changes too.
This is true. This is
You
true.
see what I'm saying? So it is going to be a game. Carabao Cup was made for kids anyway. But Klopp has to manage this properly, which I think he'll probably do it just like he did the last sick one. Because playing West Ham on Sunday after a Europe or long trip like that was also a banana peel, But the fact that he's at home is even much better.
Yeah, I think 100%. That's it. If this was an away game,
I'll be sweating. I don't care who we play.
I would definitely, because they've got this Maresca guy, the guy, Man City coach that's gone there. They're playing good football. Like their fans are very, very quick to get very, very confident. I'll just put it that way. And I've got a really good friend, Ant, that does one of the oldest Leicester, Ant's Leicester channel on YouTube. It's going years. He's one of the oldest guys doing it. He's still a young enough kid. He's a great kid, and I love him. But I'm just saying, their fans in general, they get very, very vocal and very, very confident very quick. And because they're top of the league now and they're winning games and they're playing, this guy, he plays good football. He's Pep's Maresca. He was Pep's #1 guy last year. Took the Leicester job. They love the football he's playing, so they're going to come to Anfield, and this will be I'd imagine a 3/4 strength team because they'll fancy themselves.
Yeah,
they'll like the idea of coming here. So
I hope they do.
This will be one goal. Yeah. This will be one game where Klopp has to pitch it just right. But I think at Anfield they could come up and
he's going to bring some kids.
Yeah, they could wither under the light. They could definitely wither under the light.
I hope that you're right.
And
I hope they do come to Liverpool with some shots. I hope they do. Hope Liverpool do. I hope Leicester does come with like the idea that they are going to allow for that they want to run, that they're not going to sit back and try and be scared.
Oh yeah, they will. He's one of these guys. Yeah, he's one of these guys. He plays one way and one way only. So they are going to play their way. So that's it. And those kind of games, those kind of managers, they take big losses every now and again. When they just go, oh no, we're going to play our football. Yeah. I don't care if it's away at Man City or away at Bayern.
I looked at the stretch. Leicester's only lost to Hull. No, I was just going to say Leicester's lost to Hull in the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So last 10 games, they've only had one loss. They've had 9 wins. They've been really playing well. They've been winning primarily. They've only had one game where they scored more than 2 goals. And that was against Southampton. They beat them 4-1. But other than that, it's 1-0 or 2. I really think that I'm looking forward to this game though. It's some opportunities to get some players into form. I'm looking at. I think Hakpo is going to definitely play. I think Hata is going to continue to get a run in. I definitely wouldn't start Nunez. I would have him sit this game. Obviously, I would sit Salah as well. But I think that even with those players I said on the bench, I think Hata, Hakpo, and Doak or Elliott or whoever we play on the right wing is still enough firepower for us to win this game.
Yeah.
I think Doak, Gakpo, I like that front three. I think that's the front three.
Yeah.
Doak, and Gakpo.
Anyway, Jen, thank you so much for jumping in for the short notice, and you guys still came through to the barber shop. Thank you. I hope everybody Brian like his warm towel shave.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Please, 12-man, do you have anything you would like to promote before we get out of here?
Just that I'm going to do a Leicester preview. It's going to be short and sweet, but it's going to be just a little bit of a preview of our League Cup game a little later on today. And then, or hopefully I get it in before. If I don't get it in today, then I'm going to do it before, like an hour before the game starts tomorrow. Okay. It all depends. I do have some other work to do today, and I'm waiting on a phone call. But I'm hopefully going to get that in. If not today, look for it tomorrow. Just keep an eye, though. I will be bringing out some more content. Thank you for having me on, as always, Quaz.
Thank you. I appreciate
the fade, the shape up, you know.
Yeah, man, you look shiny right there, man.
Yeah, right.
People even think that you're having a tan at the same time. I'm telling you, man, this barbershop got everything.
It's got everything. It's all access, right, for sure. So yeah, I appreciate that. Big up to Brian. Big up to Zabiri, who was on here earlier, holding it down. Always, as always, my mighty Red Army out there. Big up to you, each and every last one of you. Appreciate you always and showing love. And I'm glad that you followed me over. Those that were watching my program that came over to show love, the shouts that I gave for you, for sure. So yeah, big up, and thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you, Brian. What's the dealie? Where you gonna be out next, man?
Wherever I'm invited. Wherever I'm invited.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brethren. And everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. Alexander, thank you. Trap Joe, my Bay Area brethren, thank you. Redbird was in the house. Ozen, Paul.
Paul, yep.
Yeah, a lot of, we had a few people came in early and they did drop off. Mohammed came in. Yeah, it was a good chat. We started with the, me trying to
Lloyd, don't forget about Lloyd too.
Hey, Lloyd too, yeah. I apologize. I was trying to give some shout out to FSG, but Zuberi was like, nah. And the funny thing is everybody said Zuberi is the FSG apologist, but today he's like, nah, I'm giving the credit to, but we came to understanding it was that maybe Club found his own, he found his ways, and then he went to them and told them, hey, I need help. And they'd be like, okay, we got you. We're gonna be there, we're gonna fix certain things, let's go. So in any way, whoever started it.
Oh, wait, hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, don't forget Ozan, because Ozan's loyal.
Ozan, Ozan came in for a cut too. He came in for a cut.
Yeah.
He didn't have he came for a cut. Ozan is always here with
Brazy,
me, so I appreciate it. Brazy was here too. Yes, Brazy was in the building at the beginning. Yes, sir.
Yes. So I just want to make sure that you show that. I know you have love for everyone that shows up at the barbershop. I just want to make sure that they,
Yeah, he came for a twisty.
They
so
gave their
Brazy came for some twisty, so we had him. So the guy, when he was looking fresh, so he just bounced real quick. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys, man. You guys make this show so exciting. Otherwise, it would just be me just talking and being bored. But thank you so much, 12 Man, Brian, Canel, Zuberi. Peace.